Chapter 13. Nothing is what rocks dream about. Aristotle. After returning to the airport to refuel the helicopter and reload the cinema camera, Clem takes us back to follow the lava flow on its march to the sea. The liquid rock is mostly traveling underground, inside the cylinder cone. It plunges through the wide crack into a lava tube. The tube carries it down several hundred feet to the vent, also known as the Lake of Fire. As we approach the vent with the wind at our back, we look beneath us in a wide crag on the lower slope of the volcano, in a stone cauldron several acres across. The vent really does look like a lake of fire. The surface of the cauldron is veiled with a thin crust of blackened rock with flaming red edges. The crust is floating on top of a vast pool of shifting lava. "We'll circle here for a few minutes," Clem says while holding the helicopter 100 feet above the burning lake. "Be ready for when it ruptures." "Ruptures?" asked Michelle. "Yeah, lately the lake is taken to swelling. Then it drops a bit." He grins. "Kind of like a clogged toilet trying to flush." The flushing event begins to happen 3 minutes later. The lake, which is swelling at the center, abruptly begins to sink toward the southern side. Angry red cracks shatter the blackened crust of rock at the corners, then race jaggedly toward the center. The cracks spread across the lake like a giant spider web. Then they begin to widen into gaping fissures. Flames leap from the fissures, washing across the ebony surface. The crust, no longer buoyed up by the falling pool of lava, collapses into itself. Wide blocks of crust tumble and sink into the liquid fire. At the lower end of the lake, I notice a broad hole. It is a lava tube 20 feet across, 25 feet across. The lava is spilling into it in a raging cataract of molten rock. The upper walls of the tube glow a brilliant red from the massive heat inside. As the lake level falls a few feet, the lava flow slows. Then the lake surface smooths and slowly blackens as a new crust forms. Heading farther down the side of the volcano, we begin to fly over the residential area, which has disappeared beneath the lava flow. All we see is devastation, a giant field of hardened lava on tumbled rock. Occasionally, we fly over burned out automobile frames that were swept before the tide of liquid rock like children's toys. There is almost no sign of the houses, but for a portion of a stone wall or a little piece of cement walkway, here and there are small portions of rural streets. The center white line of the smooth black tarmacs are framed by jagged rocks. We pass a lonely stop sign barely poking above the vast lava bed. The lava is continuing to flow beneath the thick crust cover. Clem discovers a deep fracture, also known as a lava window, and brings the helicopter in close. Hovering momentarily 5 feet above the crevice, we look down into a bright red cavern and see a subterranean lava fall. The molten lava is plunging in a fiery cascade over the rocky face, washing the cavern with glimmering orange heat. The lava is dazzling yellow where the rock current is flowing fastest. Rocky ledges at the base of the lava fall and gleam with wet orange fire. Splatterings from the spilling lava hurl across the fiery den in brilliant white splashes. I see all of this in a mere 2 seconds before the helicopter must shift away from intense heat radiating upward through the lava window. We continue to follow the flow on its march to the ocean. We fly over a ravaged coconut tree plantation. Approaching the shoreline, we see vast, billowing clouds of white steam rising thousands of feet into the air. The lava is pouring into the ocean across a broad front covering a quarter of a mile of rocky shoreline. With the pounding surf breaking away huge steaming chunks of lava, it looks like a war zone. Sheets of spilling lava are turning the ocean surface into a frothing of boiling water and exploding liquid rock. Tracers of fluid stone rocket into the air, leaving fiery wakes before splashing into the steaming turbulent water, where they spin madly about with spurts of heat propulsion. The chopper weaves between the billowing white clouds. I feel the humid heat washing over us, passing along a sheer wall of spilling red rock. Clem puts the magnitude of the flow into simple perspective. If a cement truck could haul lava, this flow is the equivalent of more than 70,000 cement truckloads a day. Clem stares at the war zone beneath us. You know, you guys are plumb nuts. He shakes his head to add meaning to his words. You gotta be crazy to consider diving into that. Beneath us, the pounding surf breaks a whole section of lava from the shoreline. It falls with a massive hiss into the boiling ocean. Geysers of superheated water erupt into the air, shooting spurts of liquid rock. Wide-eyed, I look at the out-of-control situation and realize that Clem is right. We are out of our minds to consider diving here. Michelle leans forward from the back seat. Looks like the best place to start our dive operations is near the flow's eastern edge. I nod voicelessly. It's not that I don't have anything to say, it's just that my mouth has gone suddenly dry. There's no doubt that this will be the worst, the most dangerous diving I have ever attempted. For a moment, I wonder if we can really do it. When we say we can't, we actually mean we choose not to, not realizing it's a choice. I can't becomes our reality. During times of fear, we often think of the ones we love. Right now, my thoughts are on Cindy. I have a responsibility to her, to my team members, and to their loved ones. Certainly, attempting to dive with lava is frightening, yet it can and has been done. We are on the threshold of calculated risk. As the expedition leader, I cannot allow events or emotions to rule our course of action. We must approach tomorrow with level heads and with caution and with respect for the risks we presume to take. This is the required mindset of people who would climb mountains or explore unknown barriers. There is no place on an expedition team for people who act rashly. To climb a mountain is applied mathematics. Each step is calculated against the one before and the one after.